This is a special edition of KSL News.
Hey, good evening, and thanks for watching on this Black Friday. It is go time for many shoppers crossing off their Christmas list.
But this year might be a bit tricky as inflation slams the holiday budget. We'll get November's inflation report at the end of the month, but for October, goods and services cost 7.75% more.
And for most Utah families, that means cutting back. A survey by BlackFriday.com found 70% of shoppers will be taking inflation into consideration this holiday season.
But rising costs don't need to dim the sparkle of the holiday season. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to point you to some of the best deals that we've seen, the best tools to help you find those deals, the best bets for affordable holiday travel, and help you avoid some of the pitfalls of holiday shopping.
Yeah, not too long ago, Black Friday meant getting up way too early in the morning or sacrificing your Thanksgiving to line up for the best possible deals.
Now, retailers seem to be figuring out that that doesn't work for everyone.
Finally.
Particularly this year, when families may be stretching out the shopping season to make ends meet. News specialist Tamara Vaifunua walks us through the days of deals offered by the biggest retailers.
Black Friday is no longer just a one-day event. It really kicked off as far back as October. Inflation is impacting deals, so if you do see something you want at a great price, there's no need to wait, and you can bypass those long lines.
Basically, retailers know that consumers are just more stressed out this year financially because all of the prices are higher, and they want to incentivize shoppers to come in and spend money.
Kim Palmer with NerdWallet says you want to get those popular items before they sell out. So if you are in the market for appliances, electronics, those prices will dip throughout November. Walmart has deals for days sales event online and in stores, everything from tech products to kitchen appliances. Now, over at Target, well, they have weekly deals where you can find discounts such as $150 off on the Dyson vacuum or $100 off on Beats headphones.
And the good thing for consumers is that it means we can spread out our spending. It doesn't all have to hit at once. So that can actually work in your favor.
You can use apps such as Price Grabber and Shop Savvy and get those online coupon codes to shop around and find the best deals. Those loyalty programs will pay off as well with exclusive offers, early access to sales, and special discounts. This year, shoppers have another powerful tool, and that is price matching. All of the big retailers, with the exception of Amazon, they're allowing shoppers to request a price match if an item they buy goes on sale for less later in the season.
Thanks, Tamara. Well, more now on price matching. NerdWallet offering 5 tips to help you get the most out of your price matching efforts. First, make sure the items are identical right down to the barcode. You have to compare apples to apples here. Also, keep it local. Stores may be reluctant to match a price from another geographical area. Be prepared to show proof. You'll need the physical flyer or website price at the ready. Merchants won't just take your word for it. Some sales may be excluded. Clearance items, buy one, get one frees, may not work. And finally, some brick and mortar stores may be reluctant to price match with online-only retailers. So Amazon, eBay, those rarely qualify.
Well, finding the lowest price offered on an item can feel like a full-time job. So why not let technology do some of that work for you? With just the click of a button, plugins for your internet browser can help make sure you're paying the lowest price for nearly everything. Consumer investigator Matt Gebhardt shows us how they work.
Online shopping is easy. You type, you click, you wait for the package to show up at your front door. But alas, with countless websites selling and reselling just about anything you could ever need, one aspect of online shopping has become quite difficult: getting the best price, or in some cases, simply avoiding being gouged.
So this is the order we made with Amazon.
Take, for example, Philip and Carla Carroll, who I reported on last year. They had purchased some fish fertilizer on Amazon.com, assuming the price was, at least in the ballpark. I mean, come on, it's Amazon.
I found 2 for $40.
It wasn't until after that fish fertilizer arrived with a receipt still in the box that they learned they'd paid about double the going rate and that they were actually dealing with a third-party seller.
Just because it's Amazon, it's just not always the lowest price.
Indeed, knowing that you got a bargain is tough, but more important than ever with prices skyrocketing, says Trey Boge.
I am seeing a lot of price hikes.
Boge is a shopping expert, so I asked, what tricks does she have up her sleeve when she shops shops online that could help KSL viewers bring prices down and bust inflation. She says the easiest is get a browser extension.
It's free to do. It takes a couple seconds.
What's an extension? Well, you've seen them when you've surfed the web. It's that little puzzle piece icon in the upper right-hand corner. Basically, it's an add-on that you can attach to your web browser.
These are tools that essentially make your browser smarter.
Yeah, and some extensions are programmed to make sure you are getting the best price.
It does so much work for you in the background to help you save money, even when you don't expect it.
Could it be that simple?
Here, let's bust some inflation.
KSL producer Sloan Schrag and I sat down to see.
Is the KSL credit card?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm looking for something expensive.
First things first, we needed to download a shopping extension.
Yeah, let's see how this one works.
We downloaded a popular extension offered by Capital One. In search of the perfect stocking stuffers, I went looking for new gear for our favorite team on a website on which I have shopped before, Fanatics. I found a hat, put it in the cart, and in the seconds it took me to try and convince Sloan he too should root for the Mets.
Plenty of room on the Mets bandwagon, buddy. Plenty of room.
We all cheer for the Rockies.
Oh, here we go. Okay, it just popped up.
The extension found a coupon code somewhere on the internet.
You saved $8.40 automatically.
Sloan and I had similar experiences on other websites, though discounts were not always found.
It's telling me this is the best deal of all the Amazon sellers.
So what is that, $3?
Sloan and I tried a few other popular extensions and quickly learned they don't all work the same way. Some search the web for cheaper products elsewhere. Others search the web for coupon codes. Others still had us earning points, which we could then cash in for a cash back. We also found you are not limited to one extension at a time. Take, for example, this camera selling on Amazon. The Ibotta extension told us to hold up. We can get it for $28 cheaper from another seller. And at the same time, Capital One could save us nearly $124. Score!
My estimated annual savings is $1,460 if I shop online 20 times.
Nice.
I was stocking up on something I always get. I had my browser extension installed. I got a little alert that there was a 20% off deal. I saved 20% and I wasn't even expecting to do so.
So, browser extensions. Lowe's says there's really no harm in using, well, all of them, and in the process, bringing down what you pay and busting inflation.
To me, anything that's automated that helps you save money, I am all in.
Yeah, who isn't, right? Cybersecurity experts warn there are bogus extensions out there built by bad guys who can put viruses on your computer or spy on you, so you want to go with some reputable ones.
Well, all of those online deliveries have to show up your door in time for the big day, but some may see a notice that the shipment is delayed. Beware, a Heber City woman was nearly ripped off. Margaret Schloss says construction around her home has made it tough for the mailman to get right to her door. So when she got a text message saying she'd missed a package, well, she thought it was legitimate. It was actually a crook trying to trick her into clicking a link and entering her personal information.
At Christmas time, I don't want to see other people hurt.
Go to the cybersecurity experts say that Christmas time is an especially dangerous time for package delivery scams. With so many people ordering stuff online or expecting presents in the mail, people are more susceptible. If you get a text or email with a link, do not click on it. Well, the holiday season also means shopping travel deals. A little later, your best bets to get to Grandma's house on a budget.
Plus, after the break, we are talking about returning those unwanted items. It may not be free and easy at some stores anymore, the potentially hidden cost of impulse buying.
Well, one of the pitfalls of holiday shopping, those impulse purchases you end up sending right back to the store.
We never do that.
Never.
Never. Okay, so here's the problem this year. The days of free returns may be ending. Some big retailers are changing their policies, and it could cost you money. Emily Ikeda shows us how to get around it.
It wasn't long ago that some retailers were refunding customers for an unwanted item and also telling them to keep it.
Just keep those items and I'll give you the money back for it. Oh, I don't need them. I just need to return them.
But now, some companies are taking a different approach to reduce the number of returns, demanding shoppers who want to mail something back help kick in for return shipping, a process that experts say has grown more expensive thanks to climbing transportation and labor costs. Retailers reporting a return cost on average 21% of the order's value.
Returns are a place that are pretty costly for brands, and so they're taking a pretty close look at those.
In 2020, shoppers sent back about $100 billion in merchandise they bought on the web. Last year, that number more than doubled. Apparel ranking as one of the most frequently returned categories.
Why do I have like 4 inches of space on my waist?
As more Americans like Jamie Casales are shifting their spending online.
I really think twice before I put that order in at Abercrombie or Dillard's, like, okay, is this going to fit? And second, am I going to want to pay the return fee?
Some retailers have tried curbing the rising number of returns by offering virtual try-ons for clothes at Walmart and shoes at Amazon. Still, H&M and Zara have joined a growing list of stores that are hoping return shipping fees, typically in the range of $3 to $8, will be more effective.
Returns are inevitable. They're going to happen if you're a retailer. And so I think we will probably see more retailers introduce the fees.
Taking back a purchase in person is the simplest way to avoid paying a few extra bucks on that return fee. But beware of the temptation to spend more once you're in the door, as stores fight to win over inflation-weary shoppers this holiday season.
Still to come, going into debt to save Christmas may be more problematic than ever. How high interest rates are spiking right now, and the new law that lets your credit card company leave you in the dark.
It's not just enjoyed that day of Christmas, it's enjoyed throughout the year.
Skip the expensive gifts. One family's new approach to Christmas that may save the magic for your family.
Flying home for the holidays is going to cost you big time this year. Airfares are up a staggering 40% from the same time last year.
And as Sam Brock reports, it's not expected to change with Christmas right around the corner.
This year, the warm and fuzzy feeling of flying to see loved ones is also being served with a side of sticker shock, with airfares soaring ahead of the holidays.
What should people's expectations be right now if they're trying to book flights to see their families?
We're going to see airfares well over $400, probably many over $1,000, especially those coastal flights from East to West Coast and back.
The deal-finding app Hopper that sells tickets shows September prices are up almost 40% from this time a year ago, even as demand remains rock solid. Even more jarring, another research firm found the average domestic ticket in the second quarter shot up to $397. That's the first time in almost a decade that figure has flown above $390. The Harts are just trying to make their regular trip from Orange County, California to Park City, Utah for Christmas.
It's about an hour and 20 minutes, generally $180 to $220 flight. This year over the holidays, we're looking at flights, and we have kids, of course, and it's about $700 round trip per person.
The anger and shock all over social media. One tweet reading, "When did flights become so expensive again?" Mass disruptions over the summer, igniting a passenger firestorm. And while delays and cancellations have improved significantly, the Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, telling Lester he's forcing 6 airlines to pay passengers $600 million in refunds.
Airlines were either taking too long or, in some cases, refusing to give to passengers after their flights experienced extreme delays or cancellations.
Now, a new challenge for travelers, finding affordable tickets.
It didn't take much, one look, and I was like, I think we're going to drive this time.
But if driving is not an option, the best advice from experts?
If you haven't booked your Christmas travel yet, book now. Prices will not get better.
That is the message. Booking now is just one of several things you can do to save money on those plane tickets this holiday season. And the experts at Cheap Flights are breaking down the best way to save a buck or two. They say to be flexible. Choosy travelers can expect to pay more, especially during this peak travel season. Consider flying on the actual holiday. Demand is usually lower because people don't want to spend Christmas on a plane. And look for alternative airports. They may have flights operated by low-cost carriers.
Well, holiday spending could come at an even higher cost if it means tacking on additional credit card debt. Annual percentage rates are pushing 20% right now. And as consumer investigator Matt Gephardt shows us, your credit card company doesn't always have to alert you if it bumps your interest rate, which could have a significant impact on how long it takes you to pay it off.
Earlier this month, the Fed raised interest rates again in the hopes of putting the brakes on inflation. And while a lot of the headlines have focused on what this is going to mean for big purchases like a home, it is worth noting that anybody who carries credit card debt is probably paying more too.
I think that a lot of people don't realize that even your existing credit card debt, the rate on that is changing because of what the Fed is doing.
You might not realize it because your credit card company does not have to tell you, says Ted Rossman of Bankrate. After the Card Act went into effect in 2010, almost all credit cards adopted a variable structure where they can legally increase the rate you pay when the Fed raises its rate. And your credit card company does not have to notify you.
So in other words, your credit card rate now is probably 3 full percentage points higher than it was back at the start of March.
It can really add up over time, especially if you are only making minimum payments. Bankrate conducted a survey and found that most people who carry credit card debt, 70%, got there because they either had some sort of emergency or inflation has made it impossible for them to make it paycheck to paycheck.
Probably not a shopping spree. It's probably something very practical, but it's one of these things that's easy to get into and hard to get out of.
Matt Gephardt, KSL 5 News.
Thank you. About half of all credit card holders carry debt from month to month. If you're one of them, chances are you are paying more for that debt than you were just a couple of months ago.
Yeah, well, if you're going to the store, you'll probably be pressured into adding a retail credit card to your wallet this holiday season. Some stores offering a big discount if you sign up, but of course, there is a catch. Those store-branded cards can charge more than 30%. We know at least half a dozen major retail credit cards that are charging that much: Kroger, Bloomingdale's, Macy's, Shell, ExxonMobil, and Wayfair. And while you may be tempted to take advantage of sign-up discounts or low introductory rates on store-branded cards, make sure you do your homework before applying for a new credit card. As inflation plays Grinch to holiday budgets, more Americans are taking on debt. It's not always in the form of a credit card. A lot of us are using buy now, pay later programs. One survey found more than 60% of Americans have used similar services. NBC News' Maggie Vespa caught up with a student who says after pay programs are saving her small budget for her big family, but also a warning.
Are you ever worried those payments will add up and spin out of control before you realize it, since it's just little by little?
I think it is a slippery slope. If you're going to use Afterpay services, you need to be careful because it is very enticing. Like seeing those, 4 equal payments of $5. Oh, it sounds really good. Oh, it really does. But okay, 4 equal payments of $5 can equally turn into 5 equal payments of $5, and it can transpire to 10, 20, etc. And now you're pretty much in debt.
So while convenient, these programs can lead to overspending. And if you don't pay on time, you end up paying a whole lot more for that item than you would have.
Well, coming up next, unaffordable holidays. One family's motivation to change their gift-giving strategy that could be a solution for your tight budgets this Christmas.
From the Christmas ham to presents under the tree, the holidays will be more expensive this year.
Yeah, but there are plenty of ways you can still feel the same magic while spending less. News specialist Laddie again shows us a few ways to rethink our Christmas list.
Like most families,
Eating out is something that we've definitely had to cut back on.
the farmers are feeling the weight of inflation.
We just are really careful about where we spend our money.
Gas, groceries, activities for the kids are all adding up for the family of 7.
25 to 30% more.
Just as the holidays approach.
And that's a big increase for a family of our size.
But the farmers are still ready for a season full of sparkle because of a change they made years back. I'll explain in a moment. First, what Utahns can expect this shopping season.
We have no savings, gathering a lot of consumer credit. Our wages are not keeping up with inflation.
UVU finance professor Kerry Wasden says even though families have burned through cash accumulated during the pandemic, there is some hope for gift buying.
The system is so built up with extra inventory, we're going to get some serious discounting.
That's because stores have ordered too much and it's all hitting shelves at once. He says to watch for sales and expect them earlier.
Walmart said the same thing. Target has said the same thing.
Don't be so stressed about getting a good deal that you end up overspending.
Utah State professor Melanie Jukes says it's especially important this year to make a list and check it twice, then look for ways to save.
So instead of maybe hosting a big dinner, Maybe it's a potluck dinner this year, or maybe it's a dessert night.
Next, create a budget and stick to it, even deleting those shopping apps.
When you feel like you're done, stop looking, stop shopping, stop spending more time at the stores.
And don't go into debt this year. Those credit cards will be harder to pay off because of higher interest rates. Also, free up some cash by canceling subscriptions.
Do you really need 5 different streaming services, or can you do one for a few months and then change to another?
Remember, some of the best parts of the season are free, like driving around to see Christmas lights, caroling, hot chocolate with friends, and free holiday concerts and pageants. Bottom line, you can keep the magic alive, which is what the Farmer family discovered after Christmas changed forever 10 years ago.
He was diagnosed December 20th, so just a few days before Christmas.
Hiram, now 17, was diagnosed with leukemia.
So we had to rely a lot on just the community and the goodness of people.
During the exhausting 148 weeks of chemotherapy, they were blessed by strangers.
Provided us with gas cards, they provided us with groceries, people brought us Christmas presents, just like amazing people that we didn't know.
Hiram cured and doing great. The family now uses Christmas time to pay that generosity forward. This year, it's the Festival of Trees.
My son is alive, and I want to celebrate that.
In addition to serving others, the farmers also have this great approach.
If you sit back and think about the Christmases that you remember, it's not the stuff you got.
Instead of expensive gifts, focus on gifting experiences.
It's not just enjoyed that day of Christmas, it's enjoyed throughout the year.
Find activities kids already like or want to try, like lessons, event passes, and sports tickets, and you'll have a gift that keeps on giving.
I get to have 6 dates with my son. Who gets to say that?
And if you're tight on cash right now, you can create your own punch pass and pay each time you go, spreading out the cost. A little planning now and a change in focus could mean less stuff to store and a lot more lasting memories.
For Christmas, for us, it means serving. It means family. And all those things can be accomplished without spending a ton of money.
And here's a final tip. Make sure to shop at a store with a price match guarantee. That way you can shop early, but if something is further discounted later on, you can get a refund.
Very cool. That does it for us.
Yep. Have a great evening. We'll see you at 10.